Oh, we on time this time. We on time. Peace and blessings. Tuesday, December 17th. We on live, KAM live, Tuesday night live. Ain't really got no topic tonight either, other than answering your questions, taking guests, addressing, of course, the day's news and views and opinions and top stories and stuff like that. But ain't really nothing new in the news. Same old same. Drones, the whole drone subject, politics or politricks. So I'm really, down to just answer questions, answer y'all questions, take guests, read comments, because I'm kind of drained. You know, I'll be expecting, people. I forget that this is the internet or social media, and I'll be expecting people to be on manhood time or adult time or um, accountability, responsibility time, people that, gonna be responsible for what they say. I'd be so ready and wanting to challenge people, especially yeah, I mean. So yeah. Anyway, peace and blessings, man. We here. Peace and blessings to those that love truth. And not for those that's into feelings and emotions and clickbait and sensationalism and all this other goofy stuff that's going on over here on these YouTube and Insta scam and Facebook, Fedbook streets. So Nafisa first in the building. That's a welcome surprise. Peace and blessings, sis. Nafisa Queen, salute to the king. You know what I'm saying? Always give my respect for me, from us and from, my queen and from my family to yours. Bro C, salute, peace to you, big hard. What's up with it? Yeah, man, just trying to build up my little energy, my vibes. Because people be ducking fades and running their mouth and not showing up and scared to get on whatever, scared to have a conversation. It's too much. It's too much. I be seeing why people be getting burnt out. If you're a real one, trying to deliver real messages or call out this or challenge this, you know, you already going against the system. So they already gonna put you on cancel culture mode. They're gonna algorithm you out the game. Then you got to deal with the clowns and the cowards and the weirdos and the trolls and the bots. So yeah, man, it's one of them days, them Tuesdays. But we gonna get through it. Lionel gets the most honorable Elijah Muhammad saved my life. You and me both. You and me both. Um, thanks for your service. Salute, man. Thank you. Thank you. You can tell I probably need my battery charge. It's recharging because my energy. Oh yeah, and I also want to say, but I'm sure that has majority to do with it. I heard, I got reports of two of my great brothers that transitioned yesterday. I just got word of it. One pioneer veteran, brother Don Muhammad, um, emeritus. I forgot what mosque. I think that's in Boston Mosque, and brother Kevin Muhammad that transitioned. Um, I think he was out of Chicago, if I'm not sure, but my mind is on that. So y'all got to forgive me. But yeah, everything is real. Everything is real, and everything happens for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So you got to find the Most High, find Allah's hand in it. Why does He allow things? You know, He's either causes them or allows them. So we got to be just as mature and grateful and thankful. In the times that we don't understand, that's difficult for us, that's painful for us, as we are in the celebration of the things that look like that's going our way and we getting what we want. So that's where we at with it. And by Allah's permission and grace and power and all that, we gonna represent in their names. May Allah be pleased with them, well pleased with them, and comfort their families and loved ones and the brotherhood and the sisterhood and the whole nation. I mean, on that. Big Hard sitting in the car on 114th and Central board. Man, yeah. Like I said, I just apologize for the drained energy, but I'm just absorbing, digesting some realities. You know how that go. Safi Ali, peace, God, peace to the God. Man, where should we start? Health. Right. Oh man, Nafisa say your brother's in a coma from car accident, fluid in the brain. Yeah, tis the season, obviously, of major trials. Some of the most major trials that we're gonna run into have to do with life, health, life and death situations. Money is always a trial because that can play a part in what type of care that you can get health wise in a timely manner, because we always want the best care for whatever our health condition is, and relationships. That's these type of trials is real strains on relationships, all kind of relationships. So those of us that's commissioned to be the peacemakers and to be the level-headed ones and cool-headed ones, the mighty counselors. Well, these are those times that battery be on E, battery be on straight E. See Allah, salute, peace to you, God. May Allah's grace remain upon the Honorable Minister Louis Farakhan for our sake. Like that's no doubt. That's may his grace be on us. Farakhan is the grace. So may Allah's grace be on us. Right? Yeah. Nafisa say, I'm so isolated right now in Virgo life. How did you meet Ice Cube? Man, I don't know. I met Ice Cube through two people. Through my homie from I ain't gonna say where he from. My homie Lil D, homie Lil D that and my homie Solo, KAM and Solo. So I met him through them. Yeah. Yeah, good to be here, Nafisa. Yeah. So yeah, I'm answering everything. Like I said, y'all gotta just forget the energy. I ain't trying to sound tired or like a radio DJ, but I'm just in head to the ground mode. I'm just in neutral right now, digesting realities. So, but we here. But yeah, health, man, health, fighting for your health and understanding this enemy is attacking us. The warfare is against our health first, starting in the womb, when we in the wombs of our mothers at this point. All of this autism that's going on, diabetes, cancers, all this stuff that our people is getting bombarded with and coming down with. We never had this in slavery. We never had none of this during slavery. You know what I'm saying? The worst living conditions in the annals of human history, and we didn't have these diseases. We didn't have these problems, these issues. So that it's a concerted, conscious agenda of wickedly wise scientists that's attacking us through the food and the drink and the products that we put on our skin, or the medicines or the pills that we take. So that's the warfare. That's supposed to be your first and foremost warfare, is protect your health. Like even as children, if you're getting prenatal pills for your child, or you feeding your child Similac or Enfamil or some, it's all of it. All of it, that's weapons. All of that can be considered weapons against your health, which is weapons against your life. And we got to be mature enough and wise enough to identify and accept that this is really happening. These people are really attacking us like that. And, even if it's a slow, I don't want to say the word, a slow deletion. A slow deletion is most times worse than a fast deletion. Because slow deletion is burden and stress and grief and pain and, and those of us that don't want to identify and recognize who's doing it, especially on religious time, you know what I'm saying? It was God's will or the Lord called him home and all that. No, it wasn't. It don't work like that. God is in us. So it ain't our will, so it wasn't his will like that. So we got to fight. You got to fight for the life that God gave you. Fight. Don't give up. Don't fight against don't fight against the help or against the process of what it takes to cure yourself or heal yourself. Don't fight that just because you don't like it. You got to fight against your inclination to resist that. So a lot of us, we dealing with that right now. Sugar, salute, peace to everybody in the chat, man. Salute, man. Appreciate you. And Sugar say absolutely raw milk is all I work with if I drink milk. Yep. Raw milk means directly from the cow. No homogenized, no pasteurized, no slightly pasteurized. Raw means coming directly from the cow to your cup or to your glass or to your container. And that's why, we're supposed to have our own cows and feed them, ourselves, not no, antibiotics or hormone or whatever the hell they be feeding these cows. That's why we're supposed to have our own animals and farm like we used to. That's how the Amish, people Amish in the Amish community, they don't have none of these diseases. Did y'all know that? White Amish, and genetically speaking, they are already way more susceptible and weak, recessive than we are. And they don't suffer none of this. You know what I'm saying? Virtually. You might have some needle in the haystack anomaly or something like that, but for the most part, 99%, 98% of they not suffering none of these things that we suffer from our trust the science, FDA, WHO, all the stuff that we believe in. Von Eric, salute, blessings, everybody. Ahmad Jabril, salute. Man, yeah, right. I got to. Sugar, yep. It's if a boat comes by in a flood and offers you a ride, you don't tell them I'm waiting for a miracle. Yeah. Yeah. Don't say I'm waiting on the Lord. Yeah, that was the Lord. Yep. Yeah, raw milk. But from healthy natural cows. Everybody gonna say no, dairy, stay away from dairy. All right. Stay away from dairy. Nobody's saying you gotta drink it. We just, we can look at the proof of those who do and those who don't. I see a whole lot of vegans or vegetarians or whatever that look real bad, that's in bad shape, don't live no longer than the milk drinkers. So I'm not saying, you have to do it, but based on the warfare, if you have the knowledge of what superfoods do, and raw milk is absolutely a superfood. Raw colostrum is a superfood. That's the fluid before you start really lactating and producing that solid milk. All of that superfoods. That's why if you enter the Bible or the Quran, it says milk and honey, the land of milk and honey, the promised land, or milk. It don't say fruit juice and honey. It might say wine. Wine come from fruit, grapes, but it say milk and water. Milk, water, and wine is what you hear in the Bible. So if you know better than that, if you wiser than that, if you Dr. Sabi or whoever is wiser than the prophets, then you can go on and make Dr. Sabi your prophet. I'm gonna stick with, you know, the ones that I know healed me. Yusuf Arline, salute. Walaikum salam, salute. Nafisa, yep, no lies. I make my milk literally coconut that I crush with a butcher knife and almond milk. Yeah, I'm talking about milk from cow. So I understand what you're saying. I'm talking about raw milk from a cow, a healthy cow. But you know, nobody has to do that. Drink whatever you choose, eat whatever you choose, wear whatever you choose. You know, our job is just to deliver the messages of how to eat to live by God in person. So you know, that's what we're here for. Ahmad Jabril, what's a substitute of fish if a person has allergies? Just don't eat fish. Ain't no substitute. Just don't eat it. You know what I mean? I don't know what you mean by substitute. Anybody that is disciplined enough to have given up meat altogether, then they know, you know, at least we in the nation, we know that small white beans, navy beans, the small white bean takes the place of meat. And pound for pound is the most, you know, nutritious and full of protein and everything that would take the place of meat. Small white bean, but of course it got to be organic. You got to eat enough to get full, you know, and you know you also eating vegetables. So our bodies are designed to be vegetarian. However, you know, we're in a certain stage of creation. We're in a certain stage of evolution right now that in order for us to survive, you know what I'm saying, in the warfare and the hell that we've been under for the last 400 and something years, we was allowed to eat meat. And the prophets and the oracles and the seers and the sages saw that we was going to need to eat meat at this point in time until we grew out of it. Yeah. So that's what that is. It's not a protein substitute. It is a substitute. It's a meat substitute. It is protein. It's a substitute for meat, not a substitute for protein. White bean, is that the same as fava bean? Nah, not at all. Small is called small white bean. That's the name of it. Navy bean or small white bean. It's the same bean. No other bean that look white, or you know what I'm saying. It's literally called the small white bean and the navy bean. It's the same thing. No other white bean. You know, we do that. People eat black beans and pinto beans or whatever they be putting in chili or whatever. That's you know, that's not what we talking about. We specifically saying small white bean, the navy bean. Nafis, I literally almost was deceased with government milk. I would drink real milk if it was available. Yeah, well, we got to make it be available. You know what I'm saying? The same way we know how to go across town and buy this, you know, this purse or these shoes or these tickets to these concerts or this restaurant. You know, that's how we're supposed to do with our daily bread. You know what I'm saying? Our daily diet. Bro C, salute. Everybody hit the like button. Hit the like button. Now I understand my English isn't so good when it comes to knowing the beans. Now I understand, yeah. So it's the same bean, but it's called two different things. It's called the navy bean, and it's called the small white bean, but they're both the same bean. Mantastic 81, peace. Ken, what do you think about the drones that were flying over New Jersey? I personally think it's a false flag. It's preparing people's minds to accept a fake alien invasion, right? And then they got all kind of other little psyops, psychological operations, like the government claiming they don't know who it is and what it is, and you know that's absolutely preposterous. If we can see the drones and they own the most highest technology, you know, camera systems and infrared systems, and you know what I'm saying, you know, that's straight lies. They know exactly what it is, and they got FAA lights. They got a green light on one side and a red light on the other side, and it's following FAA. You know what I'm saying, guidelines as far as how it's identifying itself. So that's all BS. You know, it was some other little psyop reports that it was allegedly sniffing, you know, hunting a loose nuclear weapon from Ukraine, from the, you know, Ukrainian government that got smuggled into the U.S. and, you know, is intended to, you know, set off or whatever, and you know, and you know, I don't believe that. It could be some truth to it in terms of whoever did 9/11, whoever committed 9/11 on the United States, on the American population, which took 3,000 lives and which snatched so many of the rights, you know, the freedoms and the rights and the privileges of the American citizens, and turned it into like a police state, of martial law, which allowed the government to seize control. I can see something like that happening, you know, before Trump gets in office. They can pull some kind of, you know, 9/11 stunt like that, or somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like whoever did 9/11, those same actors and whoever let 9/11 get done, you know what I'm saying? Like they letting these drones fly all over the, you know, the United States territory, airspace. Like they don't know how to control them or something all of a sudden. I see that as a setup for another some type of attack that's going to send us into another like little lockdown, panic, martial law, take the American people's rights again. So whether they blaming it on Ukraine or whether they blaming it on aliens or whatever, you know, that's the setup. I think that's the setup behind that. And they also know that is actual real UAPs, or so-called UFOs, which is, you know, Master Fard Muhammad built, you know, that Elijah Muhammad is the owners and controllers of, and our people. So they know those are presently being more active and showing up more and more. So I think they also trying to shield and block the real ones with their fake ones. You know, they, no matter what, they gonna always try to change the narrative and, you know, take a truth and send it in a falsehood direction. So that's what I think about that. Fantastic, but that was a good question. Lionel gets, are the organic beans in the can from Whole Foods a good choice? I cook the dry beans where can I find dry organic? You can find dry organic in any grocery store, basically. Most quality grocery stores, you're gonna be able to find dry organic navy beans or small white beans. And even if you can't find the organics, even if you just, you know, some herbs or roots or so-called vegetables or whatever, you still can benefit from them even if they ain't organic. And small white beans is one of them. Small white beans is one of them. But if you can find organic, definitely get organic. The last thing you want to do is get the ones in the can. They better than nothing, but that's the least quality version. So you want to get the dry ones and cook them yourself. Yeah. But, you know, Sprouts, Whole Foods, whoever, like, you know, all them usual suspects that's supposed to have the best type of groceries or whatever, you can find dry organic small white beans or navy beans there. KAM, how do you feel about Chef Ali Aboriginal University? Or if you are familiar, no, I'm not familiar. I'm not familiar with that. Shugil, the last cries of a dying empire, trying to scare the population to force them into unity or new world order, force them into order under their power and authority in a new way, which will never work. It will never stick. You know, it might look like it's going to work for a few days, a few months, or something like that. Like they were successful. Then it's all going to come crashing down. You know, you can look at Operation, what's that? Operation Northwoods, Operation, what's the one that Candace Owens just had dude on from the USS Liberty, the USS Liberty, that whole thing. I don't want to really say too much about that, but you know, it's all on record. Sugar, I've seen some 5 UFOs in my life, and it was a life-changing experience. Yeah, y'all should follow what's this dude name? The white dude that Candace Owens interviewed, Ashton Forbes. Let me type that in the chat. Y'all follow this white boy on YouTube, Ashton Forbes. You want to follow him, you want to subscribe to him. You know what I'm saying? Because you know he's a little young white boy, but he's given up a whole lot of game about the technology that they got from us, and it's super fascinating. It's super fascinating. You know. Ramadani, do you think 9/11 was a such and such? I can't answer that on this live. So just the fact that I can't answer that on this live is your answer. Is your answer. I can't answer that. So a hint to the wise, I just answered it. Nate the Greatest, salute. Walaikum salam. Are oats permissible according to the messenger? Compared to, it depends on what else is available. If you just choosing that, but you have other stuff that's available, then yeah, we don't need to eat that. But there's key, there's key things that he tells us is our staple diet. Depending on what your climate is and what your workload is, what you do for a living, then oats or oatmeal, you know what I'm saying, is permissible. Yeah, Yusuf Arline, Nafisa, yes, Navy bean burgers sound good. You must have your own spices to give it a good twist. Of course, my wife makes a good Navy bean soup. Yeah, it's all gonna come down to the spices. You being knowing how to cook. If you know how to cook, then you damn it can make anything taste good. Look what the slave master. Look what we did through slavery. We was cooking shitterlings. You know what I'm saying? If you can make shitterlings, pardon me, shitlings taste good, then you can make anything taste good, right? Powerhouse, did you know anyone personally that was a victim of the 9/11 attacks? I don't know. I know a lot of people in New York, but I don't know offhand because that was so long ago. I didn't really do a deep dive on that. You made homemade granola. Right, Nate. But yeah, Ashton Forbes, a dude named Ashton Forbes. I just saw Joe Rogan too. Joe Rogan is kind of going there and exposing certain things. He had one of these dudes named Ryan Graves. I think he was an Air Force pilot or something like that. One of the dudes that you know, went public and saying that, you know, he witnessed interactions with UAPs when he was, you know, flying his missions and stuff like that. But they all full of propaganda. You know, they all being still compromised and controlled by the deep state. But the ones that really seem like they ain't, from my view, that's closest to being raw and uncut about what we say in the nation is Ashton Forbes. He's like a researcher, a physicist researcher. So he real, you know, he not a official mainstream, you know, accredited by the universities of America physicist, but dude is so sharp. He way sharper than the so-called degreed physicist, and he giving it to you straight. So if y'all want to know something about the technology used by the original man, the black man and woman, you know, the original indigenous, not just black, but the original indigenous people that built those UFOs and that pilot them, and what the energy source and what their abilities are, check out Ashton Forbes. He's coming the closest of anybody that I've heard other than the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Neurotic, salute. City to City Empire tapping in from the hub, calm town. Faithless, what up, Faithless? Still here, Yusuf. What all do you put in your granola? Right, City to City, Ashton Ford. She on YouTube. You might be live right now. Little white boy that wear glasses, like about his 30s, mid 30s or something like that, or late 20s or early 30s. Yeah, he's on YouTube under that name, Ashton Forbes. Yeah. Right. Oh, Adrian. Matter of fact, Adrian, man, thank you. I seen, you know, I got that, man, that support, that blessing that you sent yesterday. Man, you blew me away. I wanted to get all the way back on the all the way back on the live, restart the whole live, man, just to say thank you. Man, you don't know how much that helped, man. So thank you, man. Again, thank Allah for you. But yeah, Salvador Paez, yeah, that's the all of Ashton interviews and lives lately just been just killing it, off the chain. You know, you might not really understand a lot of the technical, you know, the physics terms or whatever that he was talking about, but if you sit down and listen enough and just, you know, watch certain little videos and listen to how these people, these are the above top secret physicists, people, you know, that the government swears to secrecy. And if you hear them talk and you hear them giving up the game of what these original black people mathematics are, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Adrian, man, you just don't know. I mean, maybe you do, but yeah, definitely the Mahdi will certainly, I'm willing and praying that he multiply your charity 100-fold. You just don't know how much that helped, bro. But yeah, the Ashton dude is giving up the game of certain physics, and anybody that don't know about the NOI teachings and the lessons, you know, we've been taught since the 1930 or 1931, Master Fard Muhammad taught the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that the original man, the God people, had 60,000 books of higher and the highest mathematics, physics, mathematics, you know, and Yakub, or the makers, the scientists that genetically engineered or grafted or selectively bred the Adamic race out of us 6,000 years ago, only gave them one book of each, you know, of mathematics, one book of engineering, like book one, meaning the preschool book one of engineering, book one of physics, book one of chemistry, book one, you know what I'm saying? But we had 59,999 higher books of the most advanced, which is basically the knowledge of creation. The knowledge of creation, the laws of creation, the laws of the force, or the forces, like in movie Star Wars, may the force be with you. That's all plagiarized and stolen from the most honorable Elijah Muhammad's teachings about what that alpha and omega so-called energy, essence of God and essence of life is. They call it the force, but in physics, they call it the force is, like gravity, electromagnetism, the strong force and the weak force. But we got, that's part of the, in the Quran, it's like called the mother Quran, or the mother book, that's written by the original people once every 25,000 years. So what I'm saying is even though when we made this Adamic race, or this new people to rule for the last 6,000 years, that was 6,000 years ago that we had mastery over the other 59,999 higher books of mathematics that we built the universe on. We didn't use the books to build it. We built that. We studied our own power and documented it. And those are the books of creation, the books of God, right? And that is in a guarded, only a exalted assembly, which is called the 24 elders, can see that book. You know what I'm saying? And these UFOs that we have always, they're not UFOs to us. They wheels, or they used to be orbs. They're orbs and wheels. That's how we travel. We traveled even before, we taught even before that the planets were grown. That's why the planets are spherical. That's why the sun and stars are all spherical, made out of plasma, because that was our shape. That was our form before we developed this form, this humanoid form. We were balls of plasma, just like the planet. That's why from the earth you come, from this living sphere we come, these forms that got different kind of form, and back to this spherical form we return, our bodies return. So that's the universal form, is orbs or circles or spheres or wheels, like the disc shape, and in the middle of the disc is a sphere. So that's how these wheels, or Ezekiel's wheel, was built. It's built like the universe, or it's built like the solar system, or galaxies, or whatever you want to call it. Wheels within wheels. So the electromagnetic properties of spinning or rotating wheels, if y'all know anything about electrical engineering and copper and magnetics and speed, and so that's how you cut or control or mechanically master and control gravity. You can create your own gravity. You can bend space and time. You can, there's no limit to what the guys can do. And these people are now getting a peep at that. Like Elijah Muhammad said, that God, Allah, was going to give them a peep into the heavens before he destroys them. So it was Master Fard Muhammad that sent these so-called Roswell UFOs down and allowed them to back engineer them and give this world a boost in technology, which is the boost that they got within the last 90 years. They just started flying in 1904. They never flew before. The first airplane flight, it was the Kitty Hawk or something, or Devil's Heel, by Orville and Wilbur Wright in December 1904 or 1903. Right? That was only 121 years ago. What the hell did they get their hands on? They've been here for 6,000 years. They done been through the Crusades. They done been Vikings. They done been Christians. They done been whatever they was, Greeks. Supposed to have all this. They never flew before. Why did they just fly in 1903? And then from 1903, what information did they come in contact with that took them from that little cloth down their bicycle plane to what they building now. Stealth this, hypersonic this, nuclear fusion that. What did they come in contact with? Who gave them a boost? Because they didn't come up with it on their own for the last 6,000 years. Why they just come up with it in the last 100 years? So we can prove it, and they know it. Elijah Muhammad is above top secret. Elijah Muhammad is the highest of secrecy with this world and their government and their military. Elijah Muhammad. He is the UFO subject. Elijah Muhammad. That's why they can't touch Farakhan, and that's why they act like he don't exist. Because he been saying since 1981, or since 1985, I should say, that he was guided. This whole nation, me talking to you right now, is a direct result of him being guided by Elijah Muhammad in 1985 on this big UFO mother wheel. That's what led to everything that we've been able to be successful doing. And that was the main thing that the whole world, especially our people, mocked us about. UFOs, y'all crazy. Y'all believing in the spaceship. Y'all waiting on the spaceship. Okay, you might want to turn on the news now. Because now the white man that you worship and believe in and you trust his science, that's all he talking about now. So that's all he talk about. And he's still lying to you, saying it's aliens. It's non-human. Still lying to you because they know you still gonna believe him. You still gonna believe him instead of believing your own original God, leader, Messiah that he sent you. So do what you like. Still here said there's no way the military don't know what those drones flying around right now are. Absolutely. Absolutely. Joseph Whalen, man, stop me when I'm lying. Stop me when I'm lying. LeVar Anderson, they better thank God, literally. Yep. And they better thank the people of God. But they not. So that's why their doom is sealed. Big Rube, salute. Salute to the true ones and the new ones. The trues and the news. Gangster of Love. Do you know Farakhan super well? I don't know what super well means. I don't know what super well means. But Farakhan is my Lord and Savior. The same way that you know Jesus, or that Christians say they know Jesus. That's how I know Farakhan. I would say I know Farakhan. I would say I know Farakhan infinitely greater. I can prove who my Jesus is and what exactly he did for me and exactly how he saved me and exactly what he looked like and why he's a he. All those real things. That's my Jesus. So all the Christians, especially God Logic, GL, that I've been calling out for the past 3 or 4 days, that this is why they won't show up, or Sam Shamoni or whoever else. This is why people like that won't show up, because they're gonna try to quote you to death with what the scriptures say. All right, based on what the scriptures say, now show me your character, show me your miracles, show me, you know what I'm saying, what this Jesus that you believe in is the real God and Allah is the fake God. Show me what he look like, what he do, where he at. I can show you mine. Show me yours. That's why they don't show up. That's why they 304 up. Dave Lartigue, Watson Compton. I see you in capital letters. Got to put the CPT in the capital letters. I see what you're doing. Hub and a dub. Big Dave Lartigue. Yeah. J5, walaikum salam. Yeah. LeVar, that's right. They shall soon know Farakhan is the Jesus. I mean, who else would it be? It'll be some 2020 or 2050-year-old white ghost man that been hiding for the last 2024 years? I mean, come on, man. Show me. I'm from Missouri. My religion ain't Islam. My religion is Missouri Islam. Missouri Islam. You got to show me. That's my religion. So we clearly can see the effect and the benefits of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that said he met face to face with God, because God has a face, and spoke with him regularly as a man speaks to his friend for 3.5 years straight. This was back in 1931, all the way to 1935. And we are the products of it. Ain't nobody been able to handle us yet. So why do trolls and whatever be making false claims that they God is the real God, but they won't show up for a showdown? They won't show up for a showdown, because when it's down to it, if this is some supernatural spiritual God business, I'm gonna start out with the showdown. Show up for the showdown. You know, the Elijah and the Baal prophet showdown. I'm gonna start out calling you out. We don't got to talk about nothing else but, is your God alive and real? Is your Jesus alive and real today? Is he the real God? And you say my Allah is the fake God, right? Okay, let's do the Elijah challenge. Let's publicly do the Elijah challenge. Get all your people together. Let's make this go viral. And I'm going to get my people together, and we're going to invoke the curse of the real God on which one of us is the false prophet, or which one of our guys ain't the real God. We can either invoke the curse of Allah or God or Jesus, or we can invoke death. I'm ready to put my life on the line. Let your God take my life, if he really God. And then let my God take your life. Let's do that. Let's not dance around and play with it. That's how serious this God business is, right? It's in the Bible for that reason. That's why that example is in the Bible, because we're supposed to do it. We supposed to be zealots and believers enough that we coming out the blocks doing that. Don't talk to me if you ain't ready to do that. Don't claim that your God is the real God and mine ain't, if you ain't ready to do that. We ain't got nothing else to talk about, because you can't prove nothing. You can't even show me who your God and your prophets and your Jesus is, and no miracles or nothing. So let me just call you out right now on that. Let's do that. Now it ain't even nothing to debate about. I don't care about scriptures or the Quran, the Bible, nothing. Let's just go straight to the chase. And now you see why they crickets. You see why it's a ghost town DJs. Why it's a campfire with s'mores and crickets. So, but anyway, we can go back. We can go back to some good stuff. How to eat to live and all that good stuff. Rube said we're going to pay a heavy, painful price for refusing to listen to the Honorable Minister Louis Farakhan. We already paying it, but we absolutely have jumped out of the frying pan into the fire. So it's happening so fast too. Dick Gregory said we are gods. I think that came from the Bible. No disrespect to our ancestor. You know, may Allah be pleased with brother Dick Gregory, but I'm pretty sure Jesus said that, or God said that. You know, not Dick Gregory. Right, Blue. Yeah, the ex-drug dealer, Sky Zaddy, actually. Sky White Zaddy. Yeah. So let's see, will Sky White Zaddy take you down? You know, you can, if you believe that you're really a Christian and the body of Christ, and that we're persecuting you, you know, call out for Elias or whoever you're supposed to call out, the Father who have forsaken you, and I'll wait and see if Elias comes and take you down, or me. Let's see who the real God takes down or strikes down. That's where I'm at with. There's no need to play with it. This is how I play, actually. So I don't know what their games is, but this is how I play. This is the league. This ain't the amateurs. This is the pros. This is what we do in the pros. You know what I'm saying? This is warrior talk. We don't start out jabbing or, no, we it's straight to the DZF from the beginning. We fighting to the DZF from the beginning. We call them for DZF from the beginning, since we playing with God. Yeah. LeVar Anderson, it's in the Bible, but Elijah brought it from the pages into reality. Yep. That God is man. Yep. God is in man and woman is God. Yep. Use of what you put Gangster Love on top. You put him in the corner. You put him in the dunce hat corner. What'd he do? I wasn't paying attention. Gooch, Walaikum Salam, Walaikum Salam, young Akbar, young Abdul, pardon me, young Abdul, slave of the greatest, servant of the greatest. Abdul means slave, servant. But yeah, I'm here answering questions though, man. If y'all got some questions for me, please ask questions. Y'all don't have to get on the live and ask them. Y'all can type them. I'm giving typing passes. I'm giving passes tonight, unless you dissing. If you low key dissing, then you gotta hop on the live with me. But if you just got a question, I'll definitely entertain it if you put it in the chat. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah, so y'all can say, pardon my energy. You can tell I'm kind of drained, depleted energetically wise. Oh, is Nate the Great? Nate the Greatest put him in timeout? Oh, okay. Still here. What book do you refer most to, the Quran or the Bible? Quran with me, maybe it's both now, but it started out when I first got in the nation, like maybe 1990, 91. It was the Quran, because I grew up on the Bible. I already knew it was in the Bible. So it wasn't nothing, I just went back to the Bible once I got the real interpretation. Once I got the reality interpretation of what the Bible really meant, that it wasn't literal, it wasn't really talking about beasts and monsters and animals and snakes talking and all that. Once I learned exactly how to decode it and what template to put, oh, that's talking about us. Then I went back and read it. I was like, whoa, this is one of the best books, if not the best book other than the Quran you're going to ever read. So once you know who you are and who the devil is and who God is and what time it is, it's like, man, the Bible is bomb. But the Bible is a war book. It's a divine warfare book. You know what I'm saying? It's bomb. It's born is bull and shit if you don't got the decoding of it. It's bomb once you got the decoding of it. The decoding of it is the supreme wisdom by Master Fard Muhammad. So the Quran is easier to read and easier to understand because it's just straight. It ain't no super big paragraphs and all. It's just simple. It's easy to read. The Quran is easy to read and easy to understand. And the Quran was revealed for the purpose of correcting the tamperings that was done to the Old Testament and to the New Testament. So these weirdo, goofy dudes that be talking about, the Quran is something different because it don't explain that. If you ever talk with a NOI Muslim, then they would have schooled you on the purpose of why the Quran was even revealed in the first place, because all of the books have been tampered with and corrupted. The Bible says the Quran says by those who call themselves Jews, because there are actual good Jew people that, white Jewish people that actually study the law of Moses and live by it. But then there's another group that claim to do that, but they liars. And they alter the book. They alter the words from their places. They take away from the book of prophecy and add their own words and write their own book called the Talmud and all kind of other stuff. So the Quran was revealed to correct the tamperings. You don't got it. Yeah, it's definitely based on the Bible. It's based on the Bible. So it don't need to re-speak on the parts of the Bible that wasn't tampered with. It's revealed to correct the parts of the Bible and let you know the parts of the Bible that was tampered with. But all the little Muslims that I've seen dudes be interviewing, picking and choosing their little fights, knowing that dudes is in the minor leagues and the amateurs in the sandbox with their understanding of Islam. They don't touch us. They don't want no parts of this. They don't want no parts of this. I'm so anxious, and I pray to my God in the person, Master Father Muhammad, and my Father God Elijah Muhammad, who is our Father which art in heaven, now that he give me the patience to wait till he brings one of these dudes to my radar, deliver them to my table so I can carve them up for y'all. He may do it, he may not, but they will get carved up. That's why they won't show up. They won't show up for no showdown. Timbo Slice, Brother Cam, what is the 5%ers? Like, are they a branch of the NOI, or they just started their own thing? Because Lord Jamal be cursing and smoking. No, it's not a branch of the NOI. It's their founder or their leader, which is who they call the Father Allah is what they call him. We know him as Clarence 13X, Brother Clarence 13X from Mosque number 7. I think it was from 7 in New York. And he was Clarence 13X because in that mosque alone, he was the 13th brother in that mosque to get his X. So he wasn't Clarence 2X, he wasn't Clarence X, he wasn't Clarence 2X, 3X, 4X, 5X, 6X, he was Clarence 13X. So he was absolutely not the father of nothing in these NOI teachings. So he took the lessons from the NOI and put his own interpretation on it and started giving that interpretation and those lessons to people in the street in New York, black people in the street. And that's not how they was designed to be. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, let it be, leave him alone. You know what I'm saying? It's going to work out for the good. Don't harm the brother, let the brother do what he's doing. But he's not, welcome back in the mosque because he broke the laws, by doing that. So that's not a branch of the NOI, but it is NOI information that has been a different interpretation has been put on it. LeVar, they don't have the correct interpretation because they don't recognize the Messiah, Farakhan, who said he would give the true interpretation to. That's true, but even before that, the lessons say for registered Muslims only, and it says, every student must copy the minister Elijah Muhammad's answers. So if your lifestyle is not copying the minister Elijah Muhammad's lifestyle, then you're not following those lessons. So you already starting out violating and breaking, so the power that those lessons would unlock in us would never be unlocked if you're not following the one who answered them. Those is Elijah Muhammad's answers. It's Master Fard Muhammad's questions and Elijah Muhammad's answers. Not Clarence 13X, not even Minister Farakhan. But Elijah Muhammad told us Farakhan is the one that knows and understands his answers. So he told us Farakhan is the man. The ex-drug dealer, 1930 with the master and Elijah, please, sir, if not now, another whole live. On like what subject? Just a subject about that? I mean, because you know, I can answer whatever I'm able to answer. You know, if you got questions about that, you know, you can feel free to ask it. Dave Lartie, I'm getting on the road to get to my slave job. I'll be listening, man. Salute, Dave, for sure, man. Much love, respect. You already know what it is. Formerly known as Brother Nathaniel 2X. Who is that? Who is formerly known as Brother Nathaniel 2X? Still here. Have you spoken to Mutabil or Napoleon since that live y'all did? That was a good conversation. Nah, I haven't spoke with him because he said his handlers or his advisors advised him not to do no more no more conversations with me. We were supposed to do a part 2, but he said his people said he shouldn't do it, and his people was Saudi Arabian, you know, scholars, I guess. The Saudi, you know, I'm assuming, you know, because that's who he was following. Jay, do you when you dropped Peace Treaty that was something special? The only West Coast rapper coming correct at that time, and did you get a lot of backlash from the Devils? No, I got more backlash from the Ninjas. I got more backlash, and even to this day, my own people, you know, gave me far more problems than the Devils did. Far more. Timbo Slice, man, thank you, man. I'm slow, so please forgive me. I'm gonna get to you. Timbo Slice, really appreciate that, fam. I needed to know that, man. Thank you. That's what I'm here for, and you know, I appreciate the super chat or any contributions, but you don't have to give nothing. All you have to do is give me is a question. Just give me your question, give me your attention, give me a little respect. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna give you everything I know. I'm gonna give you everything I understand and know. Not saying that I'm the best knower, but my limited understanding, my limited knowledge is yours for free. I mean, you might be able to see more into it than I was ever able to see. So you might hear my answers or whatever, hear, you know, my information and build on it way more than I was ever able to build on it. So that's why I'm trying to, you know, make sure y'all know what I know. So we all working with the same ammunition. And I know my people is guys, they creative, so they gonna see some stuff that I ain't never seen with the same teaching. So, and that's just gonna benefit me, right? LeVar Anderson, that was to the Bible, i.e. interpretation. That was to the Bible. Man, I'm late. I'm slow. Let me try to catch up. Hold on, let me try to catch up. Oh, okay, I ain't that late. I'm just saying I was the second Nathaniel. Oh, okay, you talking about yourself. Okay, Nate, I got you. So Nate said he was Nate 2X, just like Clarence was Clarence 13X. All right, I got you. Yeah, that's how it worked. Nate the greatest. He said, like, subscribe, share, man, and ask any question that you want to ask. This is your opportunity to ask me anything. You don't have to hop on no live. You don't got to get on no live. Still here. Did an opportunity to do music with Pac ever present itself to you? Yeah, we were supposed to do a few things, and then what stopped it? Him getting caught up in that Diddy, that bad boy beef. That's what stopped it. That whole East Coast, West Coast thing is what stopped it. So I couldn't participate. I couldn't choose a side. you know, why I couldn't really do nothing with him while he was on that time and you know, and then he got took out on that time. And that's the same around the same time when West Side Connection came out and was trying to act like they was on the same page, like they didn't have nothing to do with it, but they were trying to jump in and act like, now that was about Pac and Pac and Biggie. I mean, not Pac and Biggie, but Pac and Diddy and Biggie or whatever they had going on, whatever they misunderstanding was or whatever. It wasn't no East Coast, West Coast, but they made it that. And in my opinion, from my view, knowing Cube, he fanned a lot of the flames of that by him trying to jump in it and act like it was the West Coast versus the East Coast. Like, you didn't have shit to do with it. You know what I'm saying? But you just saw that Pac was riding and the people was rallying behind Pac for whatever reason. And, he tried to jump on that and fan some unnecessary flames. Some of hip hop started in the West and started dissing the East Coast. And that's why Fat Joe and, a lot of other people was on dude head. And Minister Farakhan had to call that summit before, more than just Tupac or Biggie was laying down. So that's why we didn't ever get to do nothing. So if y'all checked out his museum, the little Tupac mobile rap museum that was going around the country, and you look at his like lyric sheets for Machiavelli and all of that, you see a couple of songs that he got me in, that he wanted to do a song with me called "The Struggle Continues," and I forgot the other one. But yeah, it never happened. But he had it wrote down, so you can see it in his museum. Nate the Great, thank you, Nate the Greatest, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you. Pride Noir Inc., a good collaboration with you and Jay Electronica. Yeah, I've been trying to do that too. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to my bros, but yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I tried it all though. I didn't reached out and wrote songs and already sent them to people and all that. You know what I'm saying? It just don't happen for whatever reason. People, I don't know, whatever. I love my bro and I love my people, but I did my due diligence. So anybody that if it ain't ever happened, it wasn't because of me. If none of these songs never happened, including new songs with Cube and all that, I done did all of that before. So all these dudes, for whatever reason, they scared or whatever. So I don't know what to tell you. Still here. Pac was working on that One Nation project. He was getting ready to try to move on from that drama. Yeah, he told me that. He told me in Layback, my cousin, may Allah be pleased, rest in peace. KAM and Layback and KAM and Solo. Yeah, we used to see him every now and then, like once a year at least, at certain little functions, like Soul Train awards parties or, different, big functions if it's a function. And, he always, come tap in, hug up and just chop it up. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I can't mess with it. You want, I see where you at as soon as you finish, that BS time that you own, you know what I'm saying? And, we can get it in. But yeah, he told me all of that. He told me he was leaving Death Row. He's, starting his own thing. He didn't say it was no beef. He didn't give me no energy like it was no beef against Death Row, but he was saying, his conscience, basically his conscience, because, he knew what time I was on and I knew what time he was on spiritually or whatever. So he felt like he kind of paid his dues on the street thing, to solidify his, his card in these LA and Compton streets and all of that. And he did, but you know how that go, the politics of that. So we don't have a very good understanding in these LA, Compton, Watts, whatever streets when it comes to that. So that's how that happened. Thank you, Nate. And thank you, Nate. Big. Madan Komet, Madan, because I be wanting to say Madon. I think you said Madan Komet. Man, I'm here, man. I don't know if you wrote in any questions down, but you know that's what I'm here doing. Probably only gonna be on here for 20 more minutes though, because my energy kind of different today. But I'm here, man, for whatever you want to ask. It would have been nice to hear you and Brand Nubian do something. Yeah, that would have been super dope. Yeah, Brand Nubians was one of my favorite groups of all time. Shouts out Lord Jamar. Shouts out Grand Poobah and Derek X. Yeah, that was one of my favorite groups of all time. They was dropping the lessons hard. You know, they didn't have to be in the mosque because, you know, like I said, you know, them guys, the 5%ers, that one thing they did do, they had memorized, they did follow that part, memorize them lessons by heart. For every student to memorize all these lessons, they did that. And they used they pioneering and brilliance, you know, to put them lessons in raps like ain't nobody never heard it before like that. Salute Rakim. He used to say certain words and phrases like all praises due to Allah, and that's a blessing. But I like Brand Nubians. I ain't never heard it like Brand Nubians. Brand Nubian was the hardest. I like because you know I was just getting registered, so I was like, man, that was my favorite album. Like people say that Never Again is their favorite album. My favorite album was All for One. I think it was All for One. Yeah. With Everybody Love the Sunshine, and you know, just that album right there, man, that solidified my FOI life. That was the soundtrack to my basic training, my first foot soldiering as a FOI. It was, and Poor Righteous Teachers. They didn't really go as deep as Brand Nubians did, but Wise Intelligent, you know what I'm saying, Poor Righteous Teachers, because that's a phrase out of the lessons too. So, you know, my ears was all the way open for both of them. X-Clan wasn't really pushing no lessons, but X-Clan, you know, was pushing the X. So anybody that seemed like they was on that time, I was banging. Yeah, Rock This Funky Joint. Yeah, that was a smash. Still here. Timbo Slice. My brother wanted me to ask, where you go, Dan? My brother wanted me to ask, did you and Ice Cube ever got okay, and was you the one who introduced Cube to Khaled? Did we get okay? I don't understand that. I'm okay with everybody. Everybody might not be okay with me. I'm always okay. I'm okay with everybody. I'm as cool with them as they are with me, you know. For whatever reason, they don't want to be. I don't know. I'll just leave that alone. You know what I'm saying? That's a good question, but I ain't got the energy to go into that one today. My cousin Pookie on the Couch, Holiday Madness, is a masterpiece. All that. And also the song Who Riding on the second album is a topic that never was touched on before or since. Man, that's deep. That's interesting. Lionel Getz, Rakim said, peace to the Nation of Islam, and I'm out here, out. I'm out of here, out. Yeah, I don't remember what he said. What song he said that on, Lionel? I know he said peace, you know, and paid in full. So he just basically was giving that the basic phrase like peace, you know, and all praises due to Allah. But I ain't hear no lessons whatsoever. I never really heard no lessons from Rakim in them first classic albums. Sarab one, I saw Lord Jamar denying the truth of the wheel on his live today. I unsubscribed. I mean, you ain't got to unsubscribe. I understand that, but yeah, you ain't got to unsubscribe. You know, he unsubscribed. If anything, if he said that, he unsubscribed. So we just have to wait and see. You know, clearly, you know, if they really believed what, you know, they would be with Farakhan. They would be registered Muslims, you know, the NOI. They would be following him, the minister Elijah Muhammad's answer. So we can't get in our feelings like that. I got love for Lord Jamar. It's just like I got love for Candace Owens and Kanye or anybody. I don't. It's always going to be probably something I don't agree with and I can't support, but I definitely support Lord Jamar on the things that I support him on. Right, I appreciate it, bro. Bro, commit. Appreciate that. Timbo, because Cube old stuff was heavy on the nation. He should have stayed with it. I mean, history gonna tell whether he should have stayed with it or not. I can't. I ain't nobody. History is gonna tell very soon, and very soon, who should have stayed with what, who was faking, who was shaking, who was 304ing, or who was going. I'm still here. Thank you. Still here. It's actually to to my bros, their families, especially their families and loved ones. So we praying for them. So we all one. Big Tone, peace to you. My Kingdom United. Yeah, we see Big Tone. Listening to Rakim, Who is God and Holy Are You. Yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah. I used to be my number one thing. That was way back before EPMD. I low key think they bit our style. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure everybody had their own little vibe and time for rocking the little buckets. But yeah, we definitely did that back in the late mid 80s or whatnot. We called them fisherman hats. East Coast called them buckets. Let me put this link up here in the chat. Yeah, I forgive my energy, but yeah. So yeah, I might want to catch me right now because I ain't got a whole lot of snappy responses. Focused on a whole different energy right now. But there's the StreamYard if y'all wanted to get on here. Still answering questions, taking guests if anybody want to get on here and talk about any of these subjects. Talking about health earlier, talking about the showdown with any so-called YouTube Christians that's talking weird about Muslims. Talking about Ashton Forbes dude, y'all should check him out. Little white boy physicist that's giving up the game. Subscribe to him on YouTube, Ashton Forbes. And of course about the so-called drone subject, so-called UFO drone subject, which I think is some false flag prepping, psyop, psychological operation, getting the people's minds ready for a so-called alien invasion, alien attack, or even a so-called nuke, loose nuke that they gotta get everybody, snatch everybody rights and shit so they can protect us from the loose nuke. Big LeVar.
Peace, brother KAM.
Man, peace, my big brethren. How's it going?
Oh, everything fine, brother. All praise due to Allah.
Man, praise due to Allah. What's your thoughts, man?
Hey, I was just thinking, which I think like this all the time, because I like to listen to Black Thoughts anyway. So all over the YouTube world or just in general, I like to listen to Black Thought. And one thing I like to question myself on, it's like it's a lot of black groups out here that claim they love black people. And it's a lot that say, God is a black man, But my thing is in 2024, why is it so hard for black people to submit to a black man with superior wisdom? Since the black man is the original man. I'm saying from these other groups that we listen to that are these other black thoughts other than the NOI. So if everybody's saying that God is the black man, why is it so hard for you to submit to a black man that has superior wisdom? What's so hard about that?
Man, that's a super duper great question. A great question. Everybody want to be God, but nobody wants to be the follower of God. Everybody want to be a chief, and nobody wants to be the Indians. So it's coming down to an authority issue. It's really envy. It's really envy because every man by nature sees himself as equal to any other man, right? So if we seeing that one of our brothers have maybe found his purpose and is actually living in his purpose and shining and getting more attention or love or notoriety or acclaim than we are, then we got an issue with that. Instead of joining him and acknowledging that he has already, discovered the wheel or, made the wheel, instead you want to go reinvent a wheel for yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Get your
When the
own
wheel is
followers.
already made for you.
Yeah, because we see ourselves as individuals instead of as a unit.
Right.
So if I see that you did something good, then I'm happy. Now I can add on to what you did. You didn't create the heavens and the earth. I don't have to feel threatened because you discovered something before I did.
Correct.
I still see you as me. So like shit, we
Correct.
discovered it. If you did it,
That's
we did.
correct. That's correct. So, but my train of thought is like that because I recognize first who the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is, and he's the only person I've heard to this day say that he met with God in person. So, if he met with God and was taught by God, then that means he has a superior wisdom or knowledge than anybody else. So why can't I recognize the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and be like, let me at least inquire on who he is and what do he know that other people don't know, instead of saying, like you said, because you said it earlier, and I understand that Islam is not a religion, but everybody like to throw Elijah Muhammad in this religious group, but he's not a religious leader. That's not what he is. He's not a religious leader.
Right.
So why can't we just grab knowledge, because he already paved the way. He gave us a roadmap, and also I remember him saying, "What I have given to you is an invincible truth." So it don't matter what all you come up with, no matter what anybody come up with, you cannot defeat what he taught, because his teachings is from God in person. All you're doing is bumping your head up against the wall. That's all you're doing. And like you just said, you try to reinvent the wheel, but the wheel is already made.
It's already made, right?
It's already made.
How can I be jealous or envious of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad or Minister Farakhan when I wasn't even a twinkle in my mama's eye when they was already fighting the beast? They was already,
That's right.
I'm standing on their shoulders. I can
That's
never
right.
be their equal. I can never be old as my older brother. That's
right.
an impossibility.
That's right.
So why would I want to not unite with him because I can't be his equal in that
That's
sense?
right.
That's insanity.
Yep. And that's how I feel, because I know I'm not, even with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan right now, 93 years old. I know that he's older than me, and I know he's been fighting this beast longer than me. So me coming into the world and coming into this understanding of who he is, why wouldn't I try to join him and bang on the beast with him instead of banging on him to help the beast? That don't make sense. So that right there in that train of thought right there lets me know that you're really not for black people. You know what I'm saying? You just want your shine in this time. That's all you want. You want your me. It ain't about you. It's about us.
You for black person. You for black person. You're not for
Right.
black people.
Right. It ain't for black people. That's correct.
You
That's
for black
correct,
person,
man. So
which means you. And you just said, if a man say he met with God, it's a gang of crazy people out here saying the same thing. But what is their proof? What did they build that we can see that makes us say that maybe I need to listen to what he's saying, not because of what he's saying, but because what he did.
Right.
What he did is never been done. Nothing ever united black people. And the only one that united black people like this said he he was able to do that because he met God face to face. So I need to hear, even if I don't believe it, I need to hear who the hell he talking.
Let me just right. And guess what? That's how the intelligent white is. They just inject.
Your Wi-Fi tripping. The signal's jamming. Of course, they're gonna jam you up when you start talking good.
That's correct. Can you? Is it better now?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay. So yeah, I was saying how the intelligent white people, they don't just throw it away. They listen to truth to see, if it's relevant. And you were saying earlier about the flight situation from what it was 1903 when the Wright brothers.
Right.
Yeah, right. I always felt like that. If y'all didn't know, if y'all didn't have the propulsion that you have now, where did it come from? Where did that understanding come from?
Right.
That means somebody helped you move along and press forward in your journey because you didn't have it yourself. So where did it come from? See, in my studies, I know that y'all have been studying the Honorable Elijah Muhammad since the 30s. I know y'all have been following him. I know about y'all taking the teachings and the lessons out of the mosque. I know about all this, but they hide that kind of, like you said, Elijah Muhammad is above top secret. See, he's somebody that the masses don't, or the ruling class don't want the masses to know about. So right in that right there, you should think if they don't want us to know about Elijah Muhammad, it's not taught in school in Black History Month, then that's somebody you should be listening to. That's somebody you should be listening to.
And that's why we gotta be as extreme or bold as he was. That he got our attention by him saying from God face to face. I met God face to face, right?
Right.
So now if you believe in Christianity, you believe in the Bible, and you say that Jesus is God, then it's the same concept. So I can say, just like he said about Master Farakhan Muhammad, I can say Elijah Muhammad is my God.
Correct.
That's the God for me.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? That's my savior. I never met Master Farakhan Muhammad, but Elijah did. I met Master Farakhan Muhammad in Elijah.
Correct.
And in Farakhan. So that's my God and my Jesus. Elijah Muhammad is my God.
Yes.
Farakhan is his son, which is my Jesus and my savior.
That's right.
And that's what I'm banging. Like I wanna upset Christians or Muslims or whoever, because challenge me now challenge me on that.
Right. So and you were talking earlier about the Bible earlier, and my thoughts, even with the Hebrew Israelite brothers and those who bang the Bible, the Torah and stuff like. And my thought is, I know the Old Testament closes with the book of Malachi, and God is telling you who you should be looking for. It's telling you who you should be looking for. So why is it that you can bang this Bible, this book, and be looking back 2,000 years ago, 3,000 or 4,000 years ago, for some old prophets, when God is telling you who you should be looking for in the future? Prophecy. Man. So here, man, and like I said, when I first heard Elijah Muhammad say that blew my mind. That I am the Elijah of your Bible, because I grew up reading the Bible, and I know that's who the Bible tells you should be expecting. That blew my mind. So I know a lot of people know that.
Yeah, they know it, but they don't want to know it because it's too real, and it's going to force you to have to respect a living Black man and a living
man. That's right. That's right. Yeah. That's right. And I always said that.
Yeah, even though they say they believe in the living God, like what is the definition of living? If you think your God is a spook or ghost or energy, you talking about living ghost? You know what I'm saying? Is that the definition of alive? You know what alive mean, but Christians, we gonna distort definitions of words and make words mean what we want them to mean instead of what the definition of them really is.
Right.
All throughout the Bible is saying God is a man.
That's correct.
But that's correct. Not that kind of man. He's like a mystery man, spook man. Like, all right, man. I guess, bro.
Elijah Muhammad said, if you make God anything less than a man, you worshiping something less than yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
You are nothing but a replica of God, of the first God. That's all you are. You're a replica of him.
And that's why this is not religion, it's theology.
It's theology. That's what it is. That's what Elijah Muhammad said. I only want to teach you science,
The science.
theology, the theology
Yeah,
of time, not religion. I want to teach
not
you
religion.
science.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be able to prove this.
Man, that's why they don't show up. That's why they 304 up. That's why they, they hoe up. They don't show up.
Yeah.
They hoe up when it comes to proving anything.
Yes, sir. And like I say, I like to listen to all black people because I like to know what your angle, what angle you're coming from, whether it's religion or science or whatever the case may be. I watch debates. I love to listen to the NOI brothers debate or talk about what they're talking because it makes sense. Everybody else is in Spookville. Everybody else is in Spookville. Just like I was listening to the guy, he just had a debate the other day with a white guy.
Oh,
he always talking about
Billy Carson.
Billy Carson.
Yeah.
See that the white guy to me ate him up.
He ate him
because
up.
He ate him up because Billy Carson, you in Spookville. But all you got to do is grab from your borrow some knowledge from your brother, from your brothers, the Nation of Islam.
They want to reinvent some knowledge. They want to
come on, man. Come on. Dr. Wesley Muhammad, they done already ate all these people up, man. All y'all got to do is sit down and listen to these brothers in the NOI and Nation of Islam, and you can't be defeated because they done already did the research. They done did the groundwork for everybody.
And the cold thing is, I don't even, I'm a different one. Allah blessed me to do my little thing for the last 30 years. My thing is not about research because you can't research revelation.
That's correct.
If this is from Master Farah Muhammad,
and
if it's really from God, I don't care about your research. I care about what you can prove right now. I'm gonna prove my characters. I'm gonna prove my so-called miracles. You prove your miracles. You prove your God. You prove your claims, and I'm gonna prove mine. And you're gonna shut their mouth. I don't care about memorizing those scriptures.
Scripture, that's right. That's right.
I don't care about what you think the interpretation of the Bible mean, or what Greek or what Aramaic or Hebrew word is it. What do it? So you saying you did miracle? You saying that you with Jesus because Jesus do miracles? Show me the miracle he did. Because if you're a Christian, greater work shall you do. So if he raised Lazarus up from the dead after 4 days, where your dead man at that you raised after 4 days?
Right.
And you'll shut their mouth.
Right. And I can bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Brother Minister Farakhan raised me from the dead, because Lord knows I was in terrible shape until I heard that word.
Well, we know what it really means. We know it means mental death, but
mental death, that's right.
Christians and Orthodox Muslims is claiming that it means physical. Okay, since you say it means physical, and since Jesus walked on water, and since he turned water into wine, and since he fed this many thousand people with 5 pieces of bread, you supposed to be doing equal than that.
Doing the same thing. That's right. And greater.
Yeah. But in the last 2,024 years, can you show me one Christian that has ever did any of that?
Never.
That means you really not a Christian. That means you really not with Christ, because you ain't did none of it.
Right. And I can just grab something from the Bible in 2 Kings and bring it to reality. With Elijah being taken up, I'm saying, in a whirlwind. But in reality, in 1931, 32, Elijah Muhammad started talking about UFOs. And here it is in 75. To this day, Farakhan is saying Elijah's up on the wheel, was taken up on the wheel. So we grabbing something from the Bible and proving it in reality. This is something that we can prove in reality, that Elijah was taken up. And Farakhan challenges is a challenge out there right now, challenging everybody to prove that Elijah.
Right. So that's the best way that we can prove it. But we presenting our way of proving it. So then you ask them, okay, so did Ezekiel's will exist, or did Elijah get took up in the whirlwind? Did Moses go to be with God for 40 nights? And you know what I'm saying? And in a craft that was a chariot or a pillar of fire by night and a cloud by day. So if that's true, you ask the Christians, prove it. Like, so you show me exactly what that means in your Christianity, because I'm showing you what it means. The United States government is telling you what it means,
right now. Right
now,
now.
from our teachings, you show me what the proof of it in your teachings.
Absolutely. And that's my train of thought. You know, I was watching I was watching that episode the other day. Well, no, I was watching that this morning while I was at work. I was listening to it. You know, an old episode. I think it was from this week when you was you prove it you prove it live. You know, what I
Oh
mean, you
yeah,
having brothers get on and prove it. But yeah,
yeah.
that was one of the things I had in my mind too. It's like, man, a lot of that stuff y'all talking about, you can't prove that. What are you talking about?
But that's their whole claim to fame is to fast talk you like a used car salesman because they memorize scriptures and trying to get you to bait you into keeping up with their little deception. Like,
Right.
okay, I don't want to hear none of that. So are you saying you're a Christian, right? Yeah, don't worry about, we can go back and talk about what the scriptures say after I ask you this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna
Right.
ask you, who is your God? Where is your God? Is your God a man? Is your God a spirit? Is he
Right.
omnipresent? Is he not
Right.
omnipresent? Do we come and go places? Do we cry? Do we fear? Do we got emotions? Do we kill people because they sinning and he can't seem to control them, so he got to flood them out? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he repents. He repented to his heart and grieved him at his heart. And like, so that's my thing. Let's not talk about what you claiming, the scriptures say. Let's
Right.
see, can you prove what the scriptures say? I can
Right.
prove who all my characters in the scriptures are. Can
Right.
you?
All right. That's right. Absolutely. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly, man. I don't know, man. It's something about these teachings that I gravitate to and I hold still. You know, I hold them in my heart because I
Yeah,
know that they're true. You know, I don't believe that God brought us this far to keep us in this condition that we in. You know what I mean? I don't believe that. When I read the scriptures about people being enslaved 400 years, and God saying he gonna come. He ain't say he's sending to nobody else. He ain't sending no. He coming himself to raise his people up. Everybody love to claim to be the children of Israel. But yeah, what about God visiting the children of Israel? Yeah, what in human form, just like the
yeah,
scripture said. Moses said he met God face to face. And then in Deuteronomy, it talks about God coming again. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And visiting a man like Moses. So if Moses met God face to face, don't you think that God gonna send to the children of Israel in the future, he gonna have to
Right.
see him face to face? It's the same thing.
Yeah, same man. And Jacob met him face to face too. It wasn't just Moses.
That's right.
Abraham met him face to face. Jacob met him face to face. Moses met him face to face. Jesus met him face to face.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. It's that simple with me. God said he gonna send Elijah.
yeah,
That great and
before the
dreadful day. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So, we in that day. And Elijah has come, and the Jews. Oh, let me take that back. The small hats.
or
We know what we're talking about.
those certain people that call themselves Jews, because there
Right.
are
No, that's correct.
Ashkenazi Jewish people that really follow and believe in the Torah and that. So we're not talking about them.
Those are Revelation 2 and 9, 3 and 9. Those
Right,
right there.
right.
Those right there. So you have those that still waiting, like they say, the Seder feast that they have every year.
For Elijah.
They hold, that's right, hold that place sitting at the table and door ajar, waiting on Elijah. Huh. Well, I
Right.
heard a man in present time say, well, you can close that door. You can close
Right.
that door. Yeah, Elijah here.
Right.
Yeah,
And
so
the Christian, the Jesus was calling out for Elijah when he was on the cross. Why
on
is
the
he
cross,
calling out Elijah?
and I like to ask that question to my dear friend, my dear Christians,
Mm-hmm.
pastors or friends who is this that Jesus is crying out for on the cross? It reads it right there. Ele, ele, lama sabachthani.
Right.
And
And it don't never say that the people was wrong, that they misinterpreted what
no,
Jesus was saying. It don't say
that's
that.
right.
It said, no, let's see if Elijah gonna come take him down. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. That's
Come
what they
save him.
say. So he didn't speak English. So whatever language he spoke it in, those standing near heard him speak it in that language. And they
Yeah,
said, behold, he calls for Elijah. That's what he
right.
said.
And it said
So
one of those that heard that, all of them heard it, but one of them that
mhm,
heard that ran and tried to give him some vinegar on a reed
right. Put some in
And
his
the
mouth.
rest, all of the
Yeah.
rest say, no, don't do that. Let's see if Elijah would come
Elijah
save
come
him.
get him.
So
That's
they
right.
all heard him saying Elijah.
That's right. That's a fact. So I mean, I don't know, man. It all makes sense to me. And I heard you the other day was saying, about 2025, and you didn't want to get into it, but I had marked that date from something the minister had talked about in a lecture,
Yeah.
and he was saying that the grace of of this world was going to be 60 years, not to exceed 70. Okay,
Yeah.
and it started at God sitting down or placing His messenger. You know what I'm saying? It starts with the messenger. So in my mind, this the math I did. It was like, okay, we were brought here 1555. So from 1555, 400 years, that's 1955. So I'm like,
Yeah.
no, the 400 years, the 400 years.
That's
So
the
I'm doing
400. That's not
math.
that grace. That's not the 60, 70-year grace. That's something else.
No. I'm getting to that. So I'm just
Oh,
doing
okay.
this how I did my math in my head. So I'm like, okay, that's 400 years. 1555, 1955. Boom, that's the 400 years right there. So if I know Farakhan, which in Malachi it says, and the messenger whom you seek, will come to his temple. Even I forgot where to go, but it's the messenger come to his temple. So I'm thinking Farakhan coming to nation 1955. That's the same year the 400 years was up right there from 1555, 1955. Farakhan joins the temple. Boom.
Right.
Okay. So then I'm saying I heard Farakhan said that Elijah was the first scientist, was God. So if he's God, and then Farakhan is the son, so that means Elijah's sitting Farakhan down in his seat. The grace starts when Farakhan comes into the temple. So from 1955 and 2025 is 70 years.
It
70
says
years.
60 years of grace,
Not to exceed 70. So that's
So
2025
we've
is
been
what I came to.
enjoying the 10 years of extra grace, which is going to be up this year.
That's what that means. Yep. And now what we're seeing, the beginning of this year, we start with, which I don't calculate with him, but when Cat Williams came out and said everything's going to be revealed, which I already know this the year because 2025, I'm saying it's next year. Now at the end of the year, we got everybody seeing orbs and, it's getting close to that time. Yeah, it's getting close. It's getting close. So yeah, that's the math I did with 70. Yeah, that's 2025 right there. So
right. And we all can identify a specific man that we doing this math on.
That's right. That's how we tell time, by God's man.
God's man. So
That's it.
Christians, show me who your savior is. Show me who your man is that we can calculate these type of time calculations on.
Yes. And that's plain. That's simple right there. Whenever God sets his man down among the people, that's when grace starts. And it ends with him. When like Farakhan said, when you don't hear my voice no more, death and destruction follows.
Yeah, I mean that's what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad say that too. The Quran say and Allah would not chastise them while
he was among them. That's right. While he was among them. That's correct. So hey, y'all can say what y'all want. Y'all can feel how y'all feel about Farakhan, man. But hey, ain't nobody else coming behind him. And but God and Elijah Muhammad with that death and destruction and them angels. That's it. It's chastisement time. Yeah, but ain't nobody coming to preach and teach us no more. That's over with.
That's over with.
That's over with.
It ain't nothing but now the people of God speak of judgment. They're not speaking of lovey-dovey and you know what I'm saying, love and all. It's destruction now.
Right.
We had the lovey-dovey time, grace period that if we was gonna get right, Minister Farakhan was the most kind and gentle and sensitive, patient, forgiving. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't putting nobody out. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't, restricting nobody from coming to the nation or coming, to even if we was out the mosque and we was doing hypocrite stuff or people that never ever even joined the mosque or the nation before, he was inviting everybody.
Right. And I remember doing that. I think it was a Criterion, and he said, "Be careful how you push me around in your head, because you're gonna pay a price for it." See, that's what he said. What kind
Yep.
of man would say something like that? You know, and
A
he,
God.
as long as he's been among us, huh?
I said a God. You said what
Yeah,
kind of man
he
would
took
say
it so
something like
much. That's right. That's right, brother. That's right. And I'm like, that man took so much from people, man. To this day, people just talk about him like, he some any old, person. But I'm like, man, do y'all really know who we have in our midst, man? I mean, like he say, the old prophets of old, wish they can be a wayfarer. Just be in this day to see him. Just
that?
see him. And I heard him
Yep.
in one lecture, and he said he was talking to the believers in the front, and he was saying, how Solomon, you know, all his wisdom, what I'm saying? Everybody look at
Yeah.
Solomon like, he's wise. And
Right.
Farakhan said if Solomon was here, he'd be sitting in the front row right there getting his X. So that's letting you know how wise and how knowledgeable he is,
Yeah, that's what the Bible say about Jesus, the real
That's
Jesus. It
there you
wasn't
go.
2,000 years ago. He said, the least of these, my followers, is arrayed more than
Right,
the
more than
wisdom
him.
of Solomon.
That's right. And I believe that's Farakhan talking to his believers. That's just what it is. That's what it
Absolutely.
is. Come on, man. Stop not stay, man. Y'all quit hating on the Farakhan, man.
I mean, but they hated him without a cause. They hated
That-
Jesus without a reason.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yep.
you
Yep.
can go on and hate. You can keep hating. The book is gonna get fulfilled regardless.
Regardless. Yeah, you'll just be among the disbelievers. That's all. You're just a disbeliever. But
Yeah.
how can you disbelieve in something that you seeing in present time? You seeing the works that this man doing. I don't know nobody else, no other group that claims to be for the people that has their followings on different continents. I just don't know. I don't know that without even seeing them. You know what I mean? That just
Yeah.
go to show you how the word is that's being the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's teachings through the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan being taught are raising people on all continents. That just don't happen. That
Yeah.
don't
That's
happen like that.
global. That's global.
That don't
Michael
happen
Smith.
like that.
Yeah, Michael Smith says so-called Elijah is not in the so-called New Testament. Are you familiar
Hmm?
of the Transfiguration?
Right.
Michael
What
Smith,
the?
get on the live with me, Michael Smith. Hop on. I'm gonna send you this link, and I want you to verify that claim.
Yeah, you get on. I'm getting off because I don't understand. That's crazy to say right there. What the word? What kind of
But I
Bible you
welcome
got?
that. I
What
like
kind
to
of
see
Old Testament?
the
I know,
mental
and I like to
condition of
hear
that
it because I
text.
know you finna bang on them.
No, I ain't even gonna bang on it,
It's
man.
a
I ain't even
teachable
gonna say
lesson
that.
right here. Come on, brother.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Teachable lesson.
Ruben said Matthew 17:11. Michael Smith. I don't know what that say, and you could pull it up. Can you type that? Can you copy and paste that in the chat? Rule Matthew 17:11, whatever that says. But
Yeah,
I
and I
just know the
follow a lot of his
transfig.
stuff on Facebook too. I like Brother Ruben.
Elijah, you there? Elijah, can you hear me? Say something, because you should be able to say something because your mic is unmuted. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Try to get on. Try to turn your camera on. If you turn your camera on, it might activate your mic. There you go. Try to say something now. LeVar, let me try to. I'm gonna pull you off real quick and see if that might be interfering with it. So I'll bring you
Go ahead,
back.
brother. Go ahead.
All right.
Peace out, brother.
Peace, my brother. Elijah, you there? Can you show your face? All I see is the sunken place. I see the upside down. I see the Stranger Things dark upside down place. Because you hear me, but I can't hear nothing. Your mic is not working. J Def, black people dropped the ball big time with Farakhan. So many years wasted. I'm 57 years old, and Farakhan is the best example of a black man in my lifetime. It's not even close. Same here. Same here. That's why I don't mind sounding crazy. I don't mind sounding crazy like Christians sound. Christians sound crazy saying that they believe in a savior that's 2,024 years old, that ain't been on the planet, that let slavery happen, let us go through all kind of hell, but that's supposed to be your savior. You know what I'm saying? A man you could never point to. We don't know what he looked like. You never heard his voice. But I can point to my savior and show you exactly how he saved me. So I just want to like compare which one is really the craziest. Rube say, and behold, there appeared unto them Moses and Elijah. Yeah, that's the transfiguration on Mount Tabor. Mount Elijah. Still nothing. Well, you already put the scriptures up there. So that is the most important, mention. You saying he's not mentioned, Elijah's not mentioned in the New Testament? He said, that's my son in whom I'm well pleased, right? Matthew 17:11 says, and Jesus answered and said unto them, Elijah truly shall first come and restore all things. Jesus Christ. Literally, Jesus Christ. Elijah, are you a Eliar? Sound like Eliar to me. Hop on here, man. Get that mic working. We need to hear from you. Man, there was something else in to say. Where you at? Where you at, Elijah? So-called Elijah is not in the so-called New Testament. Try 2 or 3 times to get on. Yeah, I don't. That's your phone, bro. Nafisa. Hey, peace, sis. How you doing? Can you hear me? You gotta hit your mic. Unmute your mic. You gotta unmute your mic. Oh, you froze. You in the frozen. I don't know. Maybe it's my. They probably jamming my feed, man. Let me try to get you off here and try to move this computer, restationary this computer, because this is some garbage that they doing to my brothers and sisters right now. Kingdom United Tone say infidels. Michael Smith, so-called Elijah has nothing to do with the son of Mary. What are you talking about? Are you I see you got you got dreads. Do you smoke marijuana by any chance? Michael Smith, are you perchance at the moment partaking of any Mary Jane? You said so-called Elijah has nothing to do with the son of Mary. And prior to that, you said your words, quote, so-called Elijah is not in the so-called New Testament. What does that have to do with son of Mary? Are you a Muslim because you're calling Jesus son of Mary? Are you a Christian? What are you exactly? I would love for your phone to work because you're getting my energy up. You know what I'm saying? You're giving me energy, getting me energized. And I don't want to be like Harlem Nights. I'm getting all ready for some orange juice and ain't but a swallow in the container. Rube say, if Elijah is coming to restore all things, then what need is there for Jesus to come? Interesting question. If you're a critical thinker, if you're a free thinker, critical thinker, and you're not scared of the doomsday curse of your grandma Christian that said you're not supposed to question the Bible, God dang your soul. That sounds like somebody that's not scared to question what's in the Bible to me, which all human beings should be, unless you got horror movie Christian Scared of the Holy Ghost eternal damnation claims that your grandparents gave you if you ask questions like that. Questioning. You're supposed to answer, you're supposed to ask master some questions. Hey there, manager. We waiting. I thought I was gonna get my energy boost. I thought you was gonna be Red Bull, Mike. Say Michael Smith now. Michael Smith. Red Bull gives you wings. Said the so-called New Testament is not scripture. Yeah. So-called Elijah is in, I don't know what Mal is. Is that Malachi 4 or 5 with a whole different message? Check it out. Nothing to do with the son of Mary. Well, you said something different, though. You said he's not in the New Testament. So what do you mean he's not in the New Testament? He's not mentioned in the New Testament? What do you mean? There's no stories about what he did in the New Testament? What do you mean by that? Can we see your face? Can we see the light of your eyes? Can we see the extension of your brain, which is called your eyes, like you can see mine? Let me put this light up where you can see the soberness of my eyes. I want to see your eyes, you know, not like Gangster of Love. I want to see your eyes. I want to get a gauge, you know what I'm saying? Look from my brain to your brain, my window to the soul to your window to the soul. Even if you don't say nothing, let me see what you look like. Because you can see what I look like. You can see what I sound like. You can see what I look like. Can I see what you look like? Michael Smith, Elijah. Is that too much to ask? All right. Let me just put this link up in here one more time. For anybody that might want to get on in this next 5 minutes, because I'm going to try to keep it. Aaliyah. Can you show your face? Can you show us your face, Aaliyah? Can I make sure I'm not talking to a bot or a troll? Nafisa, can you hear me now?
Is he there? Is he there?
No, he's not there. You
I can wait. I can wait. Okay.
Ruben said, all right, hold on 1 second. Ruben said, except that the son of Mary, Jesus, said to look for the coming of Elijah. So the son of Mary, Michael Smith, says to look for the coming of Elijah, not to look for the coming of Jesus. Or not look for the coming of the son of Mary. He says look for the coming of Elijah. Can we agree on that? Can we show up for that? Aaliyah, you there? You hear me? Can you show us your face? Dang, you got ghosts. Nafisa, you got the floor.
Hey, I was patiently waiting. Well, first of all, I wanted to say, you know, my condolences, and it's, you know, it happens.
It's a super long delay. It's like a 10-second delay. So you're gonna have
I
to.
know. What can I do about this? Can you help me with this?
I don't know.
How can I fix that?
I don't know. Are you on a laptop or are you on a cell phone? Damn, there you go.
I still don't know how to do it on my laptop yet. I'm still learning.
Well, I'm gonna be quiet. Say what's on your mind real quick.
Okay. I thought it was something I could press or something. Okay. Okay, yeah, no, I just wanted to say that I can feel like your energy through the through the phone. I mean, through the phone, the stratosphere, and I just want to like try to just give you some strength and light. And you do a lot for us, and I'm sort of in like my own isolation right now. I'm not really talking to anyone right now, but I feel comfortable here, and I'm having a little bit of issues with my dad, and like I don't mind like staying. Wow, that's so much better. I don't hear myself now. Um, yeah, I'm having a little tiny bit of issues with my dad. The last time we talked, it wasn't really that good, and I, I really miss him a lot. And he's been trying to get a hold of me. And my brother that's in the coma isn't his son. It's a brother, our Muslim brother, from my stepfather's side, and that I share two little sisters with. And he's like almost similar to like what you're doing when you say like, are you a part of a group, an association? Like, what Black group are you a part of? He's like the main source in the land. I guess it's in Binghamton, and it's a whole Muslim land. Like they have their own water flow, everything like that. And he was in there, and he got slipped into a coma yesterday, so he's not doing that well. And like you said, like with the females and stuff, like they're just very just yeah. They're just all acting crazy and stuff, and I can't deal with it. I can't deal with all that, So I'm very standoffish and sort of like like whatever Allah wants, that's what's going to happen. It doesn't matter if you pray. You can. I'm not saying don't pray, but sometimes when people are going to transition or be chosen or whatever happens to us, I feel like, I only spoke to my aunt, which is my mother's twin sister. And and she was like, please keep him in your dua and everything like that. And I was like, Auntie Latifah, I don't really pray for people to live because that's like, it just doesn't seem right to me. A lot of like what you say, I agree with. Like anytime you're talking, I agree with like almost everything you're saying. It's like I thought I only thought that way. You know what I mean? Like, and I just felt that it was kind of like messed up to just pray for someone to live when you don't know what God. We don't know what Allah wants. We don't know what He has planned. We don't know what His lessons are going to be from someone getting into a car accident, from someone having a heart attack, from someone having cancer, from someone getting killed. We don't know. We find out after it happens, so it's just a little sad. And I'm trying to get like this studio together, and so that's why I kind of been a little bit standoffish, and being here today and talking to people in the chat about the food, it really makes me happy because I coach people, but I hadn't been. Sometimes you just need time to yourself, and I just wanted to tell you I understand that. Like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you just need to just have that time with your family, or just that private time. And I just appreciate what you do. You're not uncomfortable to me. I'm telling you, like my dad is a hardcore like Libra, and sometimes I can't. I love him so much, and just sometimes I cannot take the energy. And the text, I could tell that he wasn't in a good place. And I just feel right now, just like you said, like in this time of year, it's like I could feel like those spiritual attacks. I can't explain it. I could just feel like an energetic. I don't know if you know what that is, or if it just happens to us. I don't know, but it happens every year, and I can feel like these spiritual attacks. So,
Yeah,
but
that's true. That's very accurate, very very true. And I put a post up earlier on my Instagram with the question, why is God allowing it? Why does God allow it? You know, because he either causes it or allows it. So we already know it's not his will that none of us be ill or sick or, pass away before we need to, or, so why is he allowing it? And what are we supposed to learn from it? Right? We might not be able to do nothing about it, but learn from it. Learn why he allows it. Learn how his will actually works. And like Rube, my brother Rube said, I can totally relate to the concept or the question of, is my prayer even going to matter if it's Allah's will? So I can understand that, but like Ahmad says, you have full right to pray, so you can experiment, you know what I'm saying, and see how your prayer works and share that experience, you know what I'm saying, because we are God. God is in us, right? So you have the power to, like, if you see somebody get hit by a car or something like that, you can go save them. You can do something, you know what I'm saying? If somebody hungry, you can go get them something to eat. So you don't just leave it to a God, like, you know what I'm saying? You put your appeal or your your request in, or your will, you put your will on it, but you don't put your emotions or whatever. You still saying, God, of course it's your will be done, but if it's in your will, I'm sending, my will to heal, my loved one or my brother or whatever. And if not, bless us to still be grateful and thankful and accept, your will, and still praise you and thank you for the priceless life, you know what I'm saying, that we was able to enjoy from this person. So it's just, to me, it's we supposed to learn spiritual maturity and gratitude no matter what.
Yeah. And sometimes my gut, that God that's in all of us, like my gut, like he got hit really hard, and his the person that was next to him, which was his daughter's father, he was killed right away. Oh, excuse me, he was taken out of here right away. Excuse me, YouTube. And so I feel like when something tragic like that happens, how do you know that that person wants to live like that? What if they're going to be a vegetable? So sometimes I feel like we should give it up to God now, just to not try to control it. But like, if it's something that you can control, like if I have someone and they're sick and they're like, I have like these problems or like these rashes, or I feel like I'm getting like spiritually attacked, or where I feel like I can help them. I don't feel like I can help them. I do help people. Like it's a gift. It's a gift that I think that everyone has. If you choose to use that gift,
well, I'm saying by the same token, how do you know that it's God's will for you to help them?
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that just what you said. I don't know. I don't know. It's just a feeling. When it comes to someone like tragically, I guess it's also from like watching my mom pass away. There's probably trauma in that because she had the cancer, and then I did things to help her, and everyone was like, wow, she's getting better, look, everything, like her thing, like, and people would say, like, when you're around, like, I know God is in me, I know I have healing energy, I can change the energy if I walk into a room. And I'm not saying that out of arrogance. I'm literally saying that out of humility. because when I was younger, it used to destroy me. I used to feel terrible. Like I would be sweating. I would be like, if someone didn't like me that was in the room, or if they had like bad feelings, I would feel terrible. And now I learned, like, I'm not going to be like that. Like I'm going to own who I am. And I feel like anybody can do that. And sometimes I do have a feeling when I hear my aunt and she's like, pray for him. And I'm like, people say, oh, I make Salat 5 times a day, or I do this, or I do that. I'm like, I'm trying to pray like all the time. Like when I'm walking, when I'm breathing, not pray, but like just I feel like God is there all the time. Like, why should he not be there? Like, why should I not be when a Muslim that prays 5 times a day, when they're not praying, are they like not? I don't know. I just feel like people are different even when someone's about to make Salat, because they're that type of person that makes Salat 5 times a day. It's like you can see their energy change, like it's soon, like it's time, like I gotta go make a wudu, whatever. And it's like you can see that they change, and it's like you can be like that all the time if you want. You have that in you all the time, and then maybe sometimes you can be off. So that's how I try to be. I try to, like, hey, sometimes people take me off my rocker, and people will say, like, I never thought you could be like that. Like you seem like you're so nice. And I'm like, we got the, we're not all perfect, man. I got the devil in me too. Like, it's like, if you hit me the wrong way, it's gonna hurt. But even with the scriptures today, like I'm looking at it right now on my screen. Mm-hmm. The 3 the 17:3. Okay. Mm-hmm. The day that I feel that Farakhan, he led me to you. Like I don't know. I just feel like that's what happened. And that was the day that was set. It was on September 17th. And I had no idea why it was that day. I had no idea. And sometimes it's like synchronicities. I'll tell someone like, oh, eat like this or eat like that. And someone will say, oh, the Honorable Louis Farakhan, that's just like this book. You read that book. And I'm like, I never seen that book. And then when you start talking, I put together that we are God. You know what I mean? Like we have them in us. And so then when you're trying to teach someone something and they're reciting scriptures to you, I can understand as a man. Well, I can't understand like as a man because I'm not a man, but I can empathize how it can be a little frustrating a little bit, because you're trying to get a point out, and then they're saying like they're like repeating like some scriptures and stuff like that, and you're like, you really don't need that. You really don't need to have all of these words to tell me. I'm asking you a question. Answer that question for yourself. You're not asking them because like you want them to answer you, and you want to be like a egotistical, like, like answer me right now, like you're in school with a ruler or something like that. You're just like, you're trying to ask them the question so that they can repeat it in themselves, so that you can mirror what's going on. And I've seen that happen so many times, and I know people have learned things from off of those meetings, because you'll ask a question like you'll say, oh, okay, well, so you help the government build America, like those. I love those kinds of because I do the same thing. Those questions that you're asking, I have the same, and people get really sort of aggravated a little bit. They get aggravated because they don't want to know anything. They just want to be right about something. And when I see that someone's like kind of like trying to teach me something, I'm about to learn something, I'm like, well, you know what, I never thought of it that way. And then when you actually think about it that way, you realize how duped we've been. And it's like a spell. And in order for us to be better and for us not to suffer, it's not like, oh, okay, Allah wants us to suffer. We have to realize these things. Just like you said with your daughter with Disney. You watch that. You're not watching it like we used to when we were younger. We didn't know what was going on, and we're being subliminally drawn into the predictive programming. You're looking at it with your child, and you're decoding everything. That's the way I would do it if I had a child. You're decoding it, and they're able to look at it and see exactly what's going on. And as soon as you decode something, the spell is broken. Like, it can't affect you the same way as if someone that's looking at it and believing every single word. And it's the same way when you're talking to them. What you're trying to do is like break that. I don't like to say spell, but it sort of is, because they do all of their witchcraft and nastiness, and I know what it is, and they can't trick me. And it's really annoying to a lot of people, because I will say it. I will say it. And I love the fact that it's like the numbers, the numerology. I love numerology. And I love the fact that it's the 17 and the 3. Which one was it? I remember I saw the 17-3 on there, and that's my birthday. So yeah, that's my birthday on there. I forgot. I think Ruben Muhammad put it up earlier, but it doesn't matter. And then you have the 1711, which my birthday equals, when you add it all together, it equals 11. And I just love that. I just feel like it's like a sign, and on that, yeah, there it is. And I feel like it's like a sign, because on the 17th of September, I learned 2 weeks before that that on your birth, like 6 months before you were born, it's like a special day that everyone has for their birthday, if it's not in their sign month. So say next month for you, whatever day you was born, that day that Libra starts, that's a start of something for you, because it's all mathematics. It's mathematics and science, just like Ruben Muhammad was talking about earlier. And no, the brother earlier on the phone. It's mathematics and it's science. It's all. Everyone has their own codes, and God is it. We are the code. It's hard to explain. I love it, but that day was a very special day, and I didn't know why that day was special. I had no idea. I was just in my room, and I felt lost, and I was by myself, and I wanted to see something real. That came on, and he was talking about September 17th, that day, and I couldn't believe it. So then I went over to you, and then that day, on that exact day, was the first day of the full moon. There was like a full moon. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but it was just really awesome. And then when I was listening to his speech, he was talking. Yep, that's right. I was 5 years old. I was 5 years old, born 1980. And that day when he talked about that mothership, I'm telling you, I'm not trying to say anything, but I've dreamt about that. I dream about stuff like that. I always thought, I would say I'm an alien. Everyone would always call me an alien when I was little, or whatever like that. They would always do that. I was never afraid of them, and I never thought that they looked that way. I felt like we're aliens. Like, I don't know, but I don't know what that is. Maybe it's just a premonition. I have no idea. But
you might want to get my brother Ruben that's on the screen, because he's heavily into those numbers. He's a scientist of numbers, and he got a book. What's the name of your book, Rube? It's regarding those numbers and stuff like that. So he gonna put it on the screen. I forgot.
Yeah, I would love to support.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I love numerology. I feel like anything I know, and people go, "Oh, you know a lot about that." And I'm like, well, the more I learn, the more I know. I know less. Seriously, I'm like, wow, there's so much more to know. But I love doing the numerology readings, but I only just do what I know, and it's very, very, very powerful. It's really powerful. Yes, the one God comes in the 7th millennium. Is that the name of the book?
No, it's what's the name of your book, bro? I
Oh,
think it's he gonna put it in the chat
yeah, definitely. I love that kind of stuff.
but yeah, so
But
you know
yeah,
that
so
September 17th, 1985 is when Minister Farakhan had his experience where he was taken up on this big UFO and given the guidance that's been guiding the whole nation of Islam for ever since then. Um and what else? That 1 and 7, that 17 is a prime number, of course. And Elijah Muhammad's birthday is 10/7. That's another
mhm,
17 because the
mhm,
zero cancels out. So
mhm, that's right.
um
And when I
and
was 5, I told my mom, and I know sometimes people when they hear this, they're like, "Oh, that's cap or whatever." I don't care. I'm not. I don't need to make anything up. I'm 45. I'll be 45 in 3 months. Like I don't need to make anything up, you
right,
know.
right.
But like when I was 5, okay, so this was in 1985 when I was in my grandmother's house. I told everyone, I'm like the people. They came and got me. I'm telling you, something came and got me, and
Mm,
I couldn't move. And I
mhm.
saw like they took me on this thing, and I went up. Maybe it was a dream. I don't know, but I will never forget that. And weird stuff happens like that sometimes. Sometimes weird things happen. I don't care if I'm a weirdo or if people say, like it's just what it is. Just like the Malaysian flight. I was so
Oh
upset
yeah.
I couldn't go on the live that day. I was like out. I was out, but I had you on the headphones. I'm like, God, he's talking about the Malaysian flight. That's so like, and you explained it so well. You explained it so well.
Well, that's this what this channel is. This is your channel. This is our
Mhm.
channel for us to share ideas, share experiences,
Yeah.
share stresses, share problems so we can help solve them together because I'm very
Thank you so
limited
much.
in my knowledge or wisdom or understanding, but together we got the solution. Together we got the cure. Together we got the answer. Together we got everything that one of us lacks. You know what I'm saying? So
And
that's what this is.
anytime, like, when I get everything together, I would like to share my book with the KAM fam, and
Mhm.
also like maybe if like once a month or something we could like talk about food. I love that.
Yeah, you can do it
Like you
once
know.
a week. You can do it once a
Okay,
week.
yeah, I
Like,
would love that.
yeah.
I don't want to like try to,
This is
I
what
would.
we here for. If you got, especially you being a sister, a black woman that's not scared to get up on here and share, let your light shine and share your insight. That's what we need. You know what I'm saying? We need that. So it ain't got to all be tough guy Cam challenging this and that. We need that other energy too. We need that other. That's why I be having my daughters here. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I love them so much.
you know.
The other day, my hands were full. I was like moving things because I'm trying to figure out like how I'm going to have this place because I really want to. I have like a microphone and everything. I don't know what to. I have to get everything set up, and I wish that I could have went on there. They are so cute. They are so precious. They
Man.
she what's the one that's older? I know her name starts with a K. What is?
Keys.
Uh-huh.
Keys. That's
Key.
yeah, keys and
Key.
meals. I be trying not to put their real,
Oh,
their
I'm
real
sorry.
name.
I'm sorry.
No,
I
it's
didn't.
all good. It's all good. I'm just,
Yeah.
I don't make it easy for my ops. So
Yeah. Yeah. No. 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 You're right. We got to protect the children. We have to
yeah,
protect the children.
yeah,
Yes. Yes. But yeah. We don't. We don't. She's God. She's little God. She's little
yeah.
God.
That's all. That's us though. So
Yeah.
she know that, and she
She
know.
is the best. She made my day. What was it yesterday? She was on there. She
yeah,
made my day.
yeah. That's why that's how I know whether I'm working or not, because if I hear her giving her just raw, uncut, uncoached critique about something, then I'm like, ooh, okay.
Oh,
You gonna get this
I
world of
appreciate you
problems.
guys too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jo-
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know we have a little bit of a delay, but yeah, she made me spit like I was eating some chickpeas, and she made me spit the chickpeas all over my my new equipment because she was talking about the Santa Claus,
Oh
and
yeah.
she was like, "Y'all shouldn't be telling y'all kids about that Santa Claus." And I mean, I couldn't even help it. I was like, "Oh my God, I got this new stuff in here. I'm spitting chickpeas everywhere. Oh my goodness, it was so funny. Like she's good. She is amazing. We need her. Thank you for having her. We need that energy on this planet, on this earth. Like we need that. If every kid was like that, we would be good. We would be good. Tell her I said hi.
Definitely, definitely.
I love you
Tone,
guys.
man, yeah, they upstairs now, so but they'll come down and be watching
Well,
this.
I was talking about the fam, the KAM fam.
Oh,
But
okay, for
they
sure.
were saying
Oh, you
stuff in it.
tap out.
But I do love them too.
All right, well, yeah, we all the Cam fam and the
Yeah,
household
that's
fam.
right.
We all love you back.
Yes, yes,
All right, I'm gonna see who else want to get on here. Big Queen.
yes.
All right, peace. Blessings to Nafisa. The Wonder Woman of the crew. You know what I'm saying? One of the main Wonder Woman. I ain't gonna say but one of maybe two, two or three that holds us up. They don't hold us down. They hold us up. You know what I'm saying? They raise that female Allah balance because that's what Islam is: freedom, justice, and equality. And we living in that age now where the woman has to go through the necessary trials. In principle, that's equivalent to the trials that the originator, God, male expression had to go through. So life is real rough and hard. You know what I'm saying? The trials of the black woman right now, the descendants of slaves, is at their apex, and it's gonna get a little harder, but it's to make you equal and to qualify you for that crown that the 24 elders that's all men have been wearing for the last 66 trillion years. It's a reason why, because the male were the first form, and the woman was the second form. So we was duty bound to protect the second form until the second form grows into power to where she can protect herself with the same God powers that the man been exercising. So that's what time it is right now. And the secret of God, the secret of us as gods has always been locked up in the woman, in the second self, as we taught by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. The secret of God is in the woman. God is the heaven of God. So she's a God also. She's the second self or the twin half gender of Allah. So no man is a real man without a woman, and no woman is a real woman without a man. And when we come together, we automatically create new gods. So Allah set it up just right. Once he saw that he was alone, because that story about Adam, as above, so below. So in principle, the same things that happened with that new Johnny come lately man of six, they still had to follow the pattern of what Allah had to go through as the first Adam in the eve of triple darkness. So he saw where he was alone, and he knew that it was not good that man should be alone. So he made woman for himself. So the original Eve, first Eve, is the first act of creation of Allah trillions and trillions and untold eons ago, before sun, moon, star, before any creation other than himself was woman. And from those two, that's the original we that the Quran talk about and the us that the Bible talk about. Let us, man, male and female, Allah, make men or make a new race or make a new world or create a new heaven and the earth. That happened with the male and the female God expression together. So hopefully that makes sense. That's my little story, and I'm sticking to it. On that note, Ahmad, yeah, I gave you that wrench, Ahmad. So, anytime, I seen Nate the Greatest hop back on. But yeah, you see any trolls or goofballs or whatever, you got the juice now, man. You got the juice now. Yeah. So I wanted to go on. I'm gonna go into that, God willing, tomorrow. We can go into what we believe heaven is and what we can prove heaven is. You know, heaven for the man is not necessarily what heaven is for the woman. The man is heaven, but you know, the man represents God. She find her peace and her bliss if he's doing his God business, if he's manifesting or the attributes of God, then she's in heaven, and she wants to him to inhabit her. Heaven wants to be inhabited by God. Heaven feels like she's a waste if she don't have God to inhabit her, to occupy her, to be in, you know, her garden, for her to be pleasing to God. The nature of heaven, the nature of the woman is to be pleasing to God. It pleases her to please God. That's her nature. But if we ain't being God, everybody be say, you can say, yeah, what's up, God? What up, God? Nah, you got God spelled backwards. What up, dog? What up, dog? That don't please her nature. That's not gonna have her nature wanting to please you or trying to submit to you or feeling comfortable and secure and trusting your judgment. None of that. None of that. Oh man, thank you, Nafisa. 11-11. 11-11. Yeah, thank you. It's 2.5 hours on that note. I'm gonna have to shut it on down and recharge my battery and pray for y'all and pray with y'all, and will, you know, my family that's digesting the transition of our loved ones. May Allah in us and Allah in the supreme being, person of Master Fard Muhammad and Master Mahdi Elijah Muhammad, and in the person of Messiah Farakhan Muhammad, you know, bless us all, and the person of y'all, Allah and the person of y'all. May we all bless, you know, our family members that's dealing with the loss and the transition of our loved ones, our brothers, and your loved ones also. It ain't just about me, because you're suffering the same thing, and we praying and willing and getting together and sending the group energy and the group love and group healing and comfort to each one of y'all also. So on that note, man, love y'all. This is Campaign Trail, and inshallah tomorrow back at it. Peace.